Y cerramos el ciclo de entrevistas del ESCZ 2024 con Gianna Lei. Gianna Lei, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're
We
fine.
are
We're
we
fine.
are good. Thank you so much. So
So,
before starting the ESCZ and Eurovision span stuff, sorry,
Mhm.
we can start knowing a bit of yourself, how you started your musical career.
I already started music at like an early age. I was like playing saxophone and like the recorder and stuff, like very different from songwriting or any kind of like pop music or anything. And then I got into songwriting. I was doing a lot of like music technology in high school and all of that. And I was like in all the clubs. I was in like choir and songwriting, and what else was I in? I was in a bunch of clubs. I was trying to get everywhere I can possibly. And yeah, and then I went to go study music production and sound engineering in London.
mhm.
So yeah, and after my studies, I started releasing music. I've always just wanted to be a releasing music artist, you know, and get on the scene and everything. And then thankfully this happened. So yeah.
So we want to know what the artists felt when they got the call for participating in the national selection. So we want to know what were you doing while when Seska Televice called you and say, "Hey, Jana, congratulations, you are in the national final," and what what was your reaction?
I was in bed and I was already like freaking out. I was like, I think for me it was like 2 days in between. So I was just like, is he gonna call me? Is he gonna call me? Is he gonna whatever? And then he finally did, and I like screamed, and I was just in bed, and I was so happy. I went down and I told everyone, and I was screaming and crying, and my dogs were like, "What's going on?" But yeah, they were like, did something bad happen? I was like, no, all good. So that was my call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your song started. What was the message and the origin of the song? What is your inspiration behind
Mhm.
the tune that you present to us in ESCZ?
Mhm. Well, I've always really struggled with my health. Like I've since I was like a kid, I've always been in like hospitals, just not doing the greatest in the health department. And I had a really terrible few situations. And then like 2 3 days after, my producer flew in from like Denmark, and the first thing that wanted to write was something that was just like uplifting and would maybe get me out of like being sad
Mhm.
from the situation that I was in, and just like also just escape it, you know, and be like, you know, everything isn't really great right now, but I can make, you know, a tune that first of all like acknowledges that like not everything is like perfect, but you can like if you reach that spark in you, you can ignite it again. So that's what I really wanted to do, and I was like, if it helps me, I hope it helps other people at least a little bit as well.
Uh, well, you have performed on December 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and how did you feel before the performance? Did you feel happy about what you do on the stage? What you did on the stage
After the performance or before I got on?
In the
after?
performance in general.
No, I mean, I was happy that I managed it, that like I
Hmm.
didn't uh pass out, or I don't know, like forget the words or something. But it was obviously the performance wasn't great. I think it was, yeah, I couldn't hear myself at all. And I also came on late due to some technical difficulties. So it was just kind of a mess. It was really a mess. And I know that, you know, when people are like saying stuff and they're like, oh my God, like, how did she even study music? Yeah, I'm like, I'm well aware that it wasn't a good performance. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
what I say is like I was really sad. I think I cried for like 2 days straight. like nonstop,
Oh
because I was just, yeah,
my
because
God.
I was, like music really means so much to me, and like my craft and like everything. But I do, so it means a lot, so if something doesn't go the way I want, then I will be sad about it. And it really was, I came from kind of like zero to this
Mhm.
situation. A lot of the other artists who were on have like a lot of experience and are super like cool already, and like have had so much like success already before, and this was kind of my first mark of some kind of bigger success. So it was really hard for me to get everything in the short amount of time that it was, like all that, put that together. And then then my nerves also got the best of me. So I was really disappointed, but I also had to just be like, there's no point in like forever being sad about it. You just have to move on. The most I can do is just be like, can I swear? Or can I not
Yes,
Yes,
swear here?
of course you
I
yes,
can.
yes.
can? Well, I was like, I can't really like just shit on everything forever.
Mhm.
I need to be like, okay, that was bad. That was fucking bad. But I have all the time in the world to show people what I can actually do. You know what I mean? And it taught me so many things that I don't think I would have learned otherwise. And I'm I have some things coming up to show people kind of more of who I am and how I actually sound when
Mhm.
I'm in an environment that I can also handle in the moment, and I will get there to a point that where I can handle it, but it takes more practice than that.
Mhm.
We are doing this interview after the ESCZ show and after the ESCZ results. So with the words that you said, that you said that right now, sadly, Gianna came last.
Mhm.
Was the last qualifier. You expected the results, that result after the performance. So you are just handle it about, as I told us, it's just a bad night with a lot of problems. I can take this experience for improve for the future. How was mentally after knowing your result, your personal result?
My personal result, like of like how many people voted in yada yada.
Yes.
Yes, and how do you uh, of this experience of the ESCZ? What is the result that you extract of your performance
Mhm.
and your
So
and the experience in general?
uh-huh. So I expected the results to be the way they were, because also if
Mhm.
I was someone watching, I wouldn't I wouldn't vote for myself either. I'm just being very honest, because I also feel like I'm just honest. I don't want to like be
Yes.
fake or anything like that. It is what it is. But I was just happy that, even because I think for a lot of people, maybe they'd be like, oh, that's not a lot of people voting for you. But it was like around 1,000. And that's like a lot for me, for someone who really
Mhm.
like, also I sent in my songs being absolutely like, no one's really heard of me, all these things. So even that was like, maybe other people see it as like a fail, but for me it was like, oh, so people like, some people really did like, at least maybe say like me personally, or like the studio version or anything like that. So that meant a lot to me, and I just had to flip my mindset, because I don't think it's really like um what's the result if I just like give in to all the hate, and then I just like never do anything again. I just say like, oh, like fuck it, like whatever, like it's not productive, and that's not what I want to do. And I think also being an
Mhm.
artist and wanting to be like wanting to be seen, you have to be okay with like failing and then starting again and then failing and then starting again, and then like things like this. So it has taught me so much like perseverance, and I had a lot of like really great people around me. Like I had Krzysztof, who's like head of the Czech delegation of Eurovision. He was super helpful. Caesar was really helpful to me. I
Mhm.
cried during the rehearsals because I was also sick I had
Oh my
bronchitis.
God.
Bronchitis.
Hmm.
Oof.
So I was still taking like antibiotics, or I was like finishing them, and I had to rewrite the song the night before for the verses because they were way too low for me. And with my
Mhm.
bronchitis, I couldn't. It was like I sounded like a dying man, you know. I was like, ugh. And then they were like, "This isn't good," and I was like, "Yeah, this isn't good." I was like crying, and Caesar was like, "You got this," and he was like, "Let's do it," and he helped so much. I could have not done it without him. Um, and yeah, and there were so many like supportive people around me and everything like that. And so I had a lot
Yes.
of like difficulties
Mhm.
in the process, but it really it just taught me like so much going forwards, exactly how, because also this was one of my no, this was the biggest performance I've ever done, and I
Mhm.
also like I really didn't know how big everything was going to be, you know. I had no idea. I like found out I was in like 3 weeks before something that the national happened. I think people think we had like months for it, you know. We didn't. And
No.
someone who's like an independent artist, you're like, oh, I was just calling all my friends, and it was just me and my friends basically who
You
were
have to prepare. You
doing.
have to prepare the things all for yourself, all
Yeah.
by yourself. Sorry.
Yeah. I had massive help from my friends. I mean, obviously with like staging and like stuff like that, they were taking care of that. But like, you know, everything else, like it was, we all did. So that's why also I'm like, every artist can be very, who was there can be like very proud, because like, you know, we all put so much work into it, no matter how it turned out, you know. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was difficult, but again, it just taught me so much, exactly like how I need to be on stage, what kind of artist I am, what do I need before, all these things I just had no idea before, like literally no idea. Like I was just like a baby, you know. So this just really,
Mhm.
really, really helped. And I met a lot of really cool people that I would have otherwise not met. And I've also met a lot of like fans who are like, who I'm really happy, because sometimes, you know, hate can be very like without nuance. Like people are
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
she sucks, everyone like this sucks, the sucks, you know what I mean? Like um I think sometimes like criticism should be more like, oh yeah, this sucks, but I believe she can get better. Or maybe when she's not in such a high stress
That's
situation, it's, you know, different, because then also people are like, how does she sound good on in like studio versions? It's because it's like, it's because it's me in the studio with my producer, and it's a chill
Mhm.
situation, and that's what I'm used to. I studied production and sound engineering. The studio is where I'm comfortable, you know. So that's that. And also I did very small gigs before, which I also like talking to the crowd, you know. Like I like
Mhm.
making little connections with the crowd, you know. In small gigs you could be like, how is everyone, and like, what are you, and then and in between the songs you can talk to them. And this was very much like 5, 6, 7, 8 on, do, go, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I was like,
A
ah.
TV
But
show.
like, sorry.
A TV show is the mechanical of the TV show. Totally.
Hmm. It's like, and I definitely like now, if I do get the chance to do it like next year, I know exactly what to do, and I'm literally like I'm training very, very intensely to be able to handle a performance like this, and wanting to do it in the future, because it is what I want to do.
Mhm.
But I didn't really have the like resources or anything around it. So now that I do, I'm literally like going 150 percent in, and I have a lot of music coming on. I have, you know, I'm planning a lot of things to actually show people that, you know, this isn't me. Like I fucked up on live national television, and it sucks, it really sucks, but it's also like what had to happen, you know. So I'm grateful for the opportunity either way, even if like people, like a lot of people hate me or whatever. I don't really care, because it's brought me so much good, you know.
Mhm. Final, the final result, the winner was Aiko with
Hmm.
Pedestal. So, um, do you like the song? Is the is one of your favorites?
I really like the song. I think it has so much energy. And I think also she is a very like stage person. You know, you can see that like immediately. She's just someone who very much shines on stage. And I believe they can like they also have a lot of time until actual Eurovision starts. And I believe they can do with the song having so much energy and a lot of really cool moments within the song, they can really transfer that to like a crazy like show on stage. So I'm very excited.
Mhm.
Now
Czechia,
Eurovision, yes. Do you want to do
Czechia,
it, David?
yes, Czechia
Uh,
has given us in Eurovision a lot of iconic performances, but I want to know
Mhm.
what your favorite Czech Eurovision performance, your favorite.
It might seem like I'm really sucking like up to them or like just like whatever, but I love We Are Dummy. I love the song so much. I think it's like one of the best songs that we've had. And I think that definitely has to be my favorite.
and outside of Czechia, your favorite Eurovision of all the countries?
I know it's really fucking basic, but I do love Laureen. And I think Tattoo. I know people are gonna be like, she doesn't know whatever. I'm like, I just like it, you know. It's so successful for a reason because it's good, you know. That's my opinion. But I love it because I also think someone who she went with like Tattoo, she went on stage completely alone and like just killed it. Like there was nothing felt like it was missing. Vocals were great, presence was great, everything. So that's for me. But I know it's really fucking basic, so I apologize.
No apologize at all. If you like it,
No,
you
no,
like it.
no. We are from Spain, so if we say Spain in Eurovision, what is the fair performance of Spain that comes into your mind?
You know, to be completely honest, I have no idea.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
I just don't want to lie. I have no idea. I have no
No.
idea.
I have to say, before me, my last question. Thank you for your true honesty, Gianna. It's so important the message that you said, especially with all the rough way do you have to do for
Yeah.
ESCZ. And my last question,
Mhm.
and talking about ways and travels. What are your plans for 2024 after the ESCZ in your musical career?
I have so many plans. It's like crazy. I'm just like yesterday I met with my manager and we were just like ping ponging to each other different like ideas. I have basically I could tell you guys, but I have a studio
Mhm.
live version of Starlet and another one of my songs is already out coming to show the people a little bit more of an intimate side of myself, and also that I can't sing the song if I can hear myself. So and I'm not like shitting myself on stage. And then there's just going to be a bunch of music. I'm definitely taking a little bit of a different route sound wise. I think I'm going a little bit darker because that's what I've always wanted to do. And I think it takes a while to, as an artist, you need to do a lot of experimentation to get to the sound that you're like, that's
Yeah.
mine. And it also evolves through time. Like when I was, I don't know, 20, like I was more like bubblegum, whatever. And now I feel like it's different. And some of my like biggest idols are like The Weeknd, who I adore so much. And I think, yeah, I'm definitely putting out a lot of music and a lot of visuals. I'm very into that. And we're going to go a little bit of a darker route, but I want to do a bunch of live shows as well to really show people to first have a connection with me more than just, seeing me for like 3 minutes on TV or that. And also to be able to like show everything that I've worked for, and work my ass off. I really want to do that.
Yeah.
As you
So
notice, we like the darker side.
Sorry.
we like the
As we
darker
notice,
side.
as you notice, we like the darker side, so we are expecting that.
Because you. So we always closes the interviews with the artists saying whatever they want to say in a message to the people who's gonna watch this interview. So here's your moment.
It's your moment.
Okay, no pressure. Well, thank you so much for watching this interview with me, taking the time to listen. I hope you get to know me a little bit more, and thank you for any support so far. And I will promise that more is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better. And I think you'll like it.
And I'm gonna switch to Spanish to close this interview. Pues esta ha sido la entrevista con Gianna Lei, a la que agradecemos su honestidad y su sinceridad al responder a nuestras preguntas. Así que nos vemos en las próximas entrevistas. Chao.
Chao.
Bad biiru lau. Ey, hasta luego, sayonara.